Welcome to class. We'll start in a seated position in a practice that will give us a lot of attention to the hips and to that beautiful base of our spine and the base of our torso. This will really help with moving, of course, but it can also help with issues around sitting a lot and things like that. So let's take a seat. So allow yourself to sit however you like, on a chair, on a cushion. Take the sits bones, they're on the outside of that base of the spine to the edge of a blanket, allowing the pelvis to spill forward, the curve in the low back gracefully rising up the spine. Take the hands to the thighs. Find yourself in space. Enjoy this stillness. Close the eyes if you'd like to cut out any visual distractions or simply behold the space around you and celebrate coming onto our mats together. Come into your breath. Notice the inflow and outflow of breath, celebrating our breath today, warming ourselves with that breath. And let's visualize lots of positivity today, peace and harmony. Let that radiate outward to our communities close by and all around the world. Invite in your breath as a guest at a table. Exhale, whatever you don't need. I'll begin class with the quote. I actually had this quote this week by Mary Crow Dog. The book is Lakota Woman. One must view the world through the eye in one's heart rather than trust the eyes in one's head. So today we'll honor the heart as well as honoring the heart of our creativity and the heart of an area of the body that has a lot of energy toward creativity, the root and the pelvic area. Inflow of breath, outflow of breath. Just continue noticing your breath. And then if you'd like to join me in a conscious breath to open the gate for our practice, invite an inhale in as if you were about to blow out the candles on a birthday cake. And then exhale as if you were blowing out those candles. And you know how you have to really exhale to get the last candle. Again, inhale. And take that same repetition a couple more times. Expanding, feel the belly expand on that inhale and the chest. Exhale. And one more time. Coming back to your autonomic breath. Let's just notice the effect on the body here. Energizing, radiating, warmth. Maybe a little positive infusion of positivity into the body. Take one hand to the heart, one hand to the belly, just noticing the movement of the breath in our hands. Enjoying this stillness as well. Seeing if you can still the mind. Regulate that mind along with regulating your breath. Feel the shoulders drop away from the ears as you exhale longer. And feel that extra expansion around the rib cage as you expand your inhale. Very simple, yet so profound. This practice of breath. You can flutter the eyes open and we'll open the arms wide. Just sending out beautiful open energy to each other on our practice. As you exhale, bring the right arm over the left and cross the arms around the shoulders and just give yourself a hug. So feeling that reach of the fingers back to our shoulder blades. And then we'll soften that hug and begin to sway side to side. So just sway your hug, feeling that undulation of the spine. Noticing that beautiful flexibility of our spine as it just rises up out of the pelvis. And then come to a neutral spine, find that neutral spine. As you inhale the arms out, invite that breath in, and then take left arm over right. And we'll sway again, cradle yourself. I know someone out there has a cradling baby, so cradle that baby too. But cradle yourself, give a hug. And then find neutral spine again. And let's take the arms up towards the sky. We'll wrap our hands on the elbows. So we're really just taking that touch down with the fingers on the outside of the elbows to lift ourselves up even higher. So really making space in the spine. And then on your exhale, let's just sway over to the right again, dropping the ear towards shoulder, nice and easy. And then inhale yourself back up and sway to the other side. Notice the touch of your fingertip on that elbow or in that tricep. Try it again, the other side, or just increasing the length and decompressing the spine along the way. And back and forth. Lovely. Now reach up towards the sky, lift your hands up and take a cross arms and press the palms together in that crossed position. As you press the hands together, drop the shoulders away from the ears and just feel that reach, and then switch to the other side, right arm or left arm in front of right, whatever the opposite is that you did before, feeling that length. And then switch the hands to prayer position. Bring that prayer position above your head, hovering above your head about 1/2 inch. Inhale and see if you can bring your head up to the level of the hands. So we're getting taller here through the spine. And then the elbows out to the side. Exhale. Excellent. Let's take our palms and shine them forward and bring ourselves into those cactus arms. So reaching out, expanding across the collarbones, making that square shape with our shape of the arms, and then take the thumbs behind you and then the pinkies up. Inhale up, and then come forward, shine those palms forward again and hang the arms down, forearms down, just swaying them like laundry on the line. Come on back up. Take the thumbs behind you and pinkies up and come forward. And one more time, hang them down. And then I'll sweep up with the arms and then close them together. This familiar release for our shoulders, pressing those forearms together, lift them up towards the sky, look at your elbow creases and open up naturally. Like a curtain. And then let's bring the elbows to the ribs and then come forward, pressing together again. Inhaling up, separate. Keep the gaze nice and soft. And then elbows in and bring that up. Excellent. Open up. And then allow our hands to just flutter down. Fingertips finding that root beneath us. Inhale, exhale. Let's feel the root of our sits bones again. Close the eyes, just getting a sense of those roots. So you've got all 5 fingertips pressing into the floor. Feel the lift as you do that off of the root of that pelvis. Should allow a little bit more ease in the spine. And keep that sense of rootedness. Open the eyes, look over your right shoulder. And look over your left shoulder. And back through center. Let's look up. Bright energy coming from the sky. Exhale, drop the chin into the jugular notch there. Looking at the heart, keeping the heart tall. Let's keep that sense of brightness through the heart. And also a sense of the root beneath it. And then coming on up, we'll take a right ear to right shoulder. Really easing through this and pressing through your left fingertips. So taking our full tour of the neck range to get things loosened up. Take your right hand, help your head up. Just make that arc shape above you. Exhale to the other side as the right hand takes its root through the fingertips. Soften here. As you inhale, you can feel that sense of rising up. As you exhale, we'll take that ear a little lower, perhaps. And then the left ear, left hand helps the left side up. Wow, there's a little freedom there. And now we'll just make circles. So we're going to take the nose or the chin and just trace an arc shape there in front of us. A circle around you. And then change direction. So we're just feeling that connection inside the head, that rotation happening. And then come back to a neutral. Take the hand to the chin, take the fingertips to the chin and just press the hand into the chin and the chin into the hand. And notice how that, and then release and notice how that even gives you more height. Great, let's take a side bend before we go down to the floor, reach up, clasp the fingers together, steeple hands. So we're pointing up towards the sky, another swaying side to side. So we're just taking luxury to lots of side bends so we can, decompress. And the other side. And the other side. Before we once more come on up to the top, and then we'll take a twist. So we're going to turn our sternum towards the right, exhaling, drop the hands to the floor, and then gaze over your right shoulder. Coming back, bring the sternum forward, and then we'll take the hands up again, turn that sternum first, and then take the hands down to support the twist. Maybe the gaze comes behind you. Oh, back to center. So now grab a block and we'll get down to the floor so we can take some gravity off the hips and ease ourselves there. A strap will be good too. We're going to work on those hamstrings. So feel free to just come to your side first and then ease over onto the back, bend the knees. Before you take the block, just allow the arms to drape next to the body and allow the fingertips to find the back of the heels. And feel the shoulders on your next exhale. We're going to take the shoulders and just drop them away from the midline. So drop them away from the heart. Yeah, and then also get a sense of your sacrum. So we'll travel down the spine with our mind's eye to that triangle at the base of the spine that also has the framework of the pelvis above it here. So visualize those spaces, those beautiful, miraculous spaces in the body. And then we're going to curl the spine up. So take the navel towards the spine and then lift the hips up towards the sky. Pressing through your arms, the full length of your arms, you'll notice that the sternum lifts towards the chin naturally as you keep your gaze up at the sky. Hold this bridge pose, just noticing this wonderful shape and how we're opening the front of the body. On your next breath, just grab that block and we'll put it underneath the sacrum and then curl down and just place that sacrum on the block. Yeah, it should feel great. And we'll just take a nice spa bridge here with the arms long next to the body. Take that birthday cake breath here. Inhale, exhale. And another one, inhale. And exhale. So take the pressure off of everything. Your hips, the body, the mind. Just release, allow the back body to release it to the earth. This beautiful earth beneath us. Take the right leg long, the left leg long, and we'll really lengthen out here. We've already gotten ourselves a little taller sitting up, so let's lengthen even more through the legs. Let's take the feet into our standing feet, so as if you're standing on the floor, and then spread the toes. And then flop the feet out to the side, relaxing and releasing the hips. Now the fingertips find those hip points that are up towards the sky. We'll just take our fingertips towards the edge and give a little massage to the edges of those hip bones. So we're taking the fingertips just to the inside and pulling away. Very tenderly, getting to some of those connecting points that can get tight in there, those attachment points. Yes. And now lengthen out your arms next to the ears. And again, just reaching up, seeing how long you can get. Exhale, feel the shoulders drop again. So we're just draping ourselves over this block. Feel the release again. Exhale matches that release. And then sweep the arms next to the body. Support yourself on the floor there with your arms. Bend the knees. And then we're going to take our half happy baby series. So we're inhaling the right knee towards the chest, give a hug, take the hand to the back of the thigh, and circling your ankle. It has a little soundtrack there. That's ankles, little cracks. Okay, we'll take the right knee towards the armpit and then rise up with that sole of the foot to the sky. Yeah. Take that half baby. Now, you'll notice on the block, your sacrum is probably going to curl up. So let's see if we can find that base, find the gravity there through the sacrum, that triangular bone. Take your hand to either the side of your foot, your choice, or the ankle, or the back of the thigh. So notice the dropping of that energy into our right hip, the hip socket. Breathe so we can reach that root with our inhale. Reach all the way down to that right hip and exhale it out. Maybe the thigh comes closer to the ribs, but we don't have to strive here. Just release. If you'd like to lengthen your left leg on the floor, you can do that, and we can really lengthen our left side. So here, stand strong through your left foot so that it's like it's on the floor. And then you're going to lift the left arm next to the left ear. Oh, and just feeling that length that it creates on your left side. If this is uncomfortable at all, customize. If you are having a holiday today, then please keep yourself nice and relaxed. And no striving. Sweep that left arm down to the side of the body, release your right foot and bend the left leg. Feel the release in that left and that right hip, and we'll match it on the left. Inhale the left knee towards the face, circle your ankle. Simple things we can do to just keep our awareness, our presence in the body. Take the left knee towards the armpit, and take the hands to the back of the thigh, the ankle, or the side of the foot. And curl, you'll feel the curl up, right? See if you can curl it down a bit. Shift yourself on that block. So customize, for yourself. Notice this half happy baby. Hang out here, just feeling the sensations of that hip. If you feel a resistance, mental resistance of any sort, like trying to get out of it, just ease off a little bit. Take your hands to the back of the thigh. Notice if you're pushing yourself. Try not to do that. And then straighten your right leg if you'd like. And then we'll take the right arm next to the right ear. So standing strong as if there's a floor underneath your right foot. It should feel super spacious for that right side. Clean up some of that static on the right side. And our left hip, let's bring our awareness there. Breathing into that left hip, all the way down into the hip. And release. Right arm next to the body. Let's bend the right leg and release the left foot down to the floor. And we'll take the soles of the feet together here and allow the knees to drop out to the side. So this should be a little vacation for that effort, right? For the hips. We were just maybe getting a little tight sensations there. This should feel good. If it doesn't, by all means, take the knees together and the feet wide apart and make yourself more comfortable. But just notice as we press the feet together, we're going to take the arms long next to the body and press through the elbows and lift that sternum up towards the sky, and then exhale. Take the hands, the fingertips, to the point where your thigh meets your hips, and feel free to massage there, just along the edges of your quad muscles, onto the glutes there, gluteus medius with your thumbs. Some kindness towards our bodies. Excellent. Now take the arms down, and we're going to take the feet and knees together, and then rise up with the knees towards the sky, and then straighten out the legs. And we'll take our feet in flex position and then point position. Flex and then point. And let's alternate tiptoeing through the tulips, as one of my teachers likes to say. And circling the ankles. Just play with this being upside down thing. Take the ankles together and then wide apart into a V, and then back together and then wide apart. So we'll be doing some wide stance when we stand up. This is a nice little prep for that, as well as keeping our hip supporters strong. From these candlestick legs, let's take the soles of the feet together and come into cobbler as we grab the ankles and just feel that opening as the knees open up to their butterfly position, and then come on back up to candlesticks. And you should feel this already, this sense of lift off the hips. Take the hands to the ankles again, open up into that butterfly, and then come on up. And repeat. Please match this movement with your breath, so that when we leave the mat, our movements and our breath are in harmony. And then back up to candlesticks, feeling that opening on our hamstrings as well. Wow. Hamstrings. Take the feet down to the floor. Lift the hips up. And yeah, let's have a little strap celebration here on the hamstrings. Why not? Inhale the right knee towards the face. Take the strap around the ball of the right foot. And let's lift that leg straight up. So use the strap to adjust your angle. Putting yourself into full flexion and forcing that, it's not the best idea or along with yogic philosophy, right? Be where you are, find where you are, and stay in that position. Inhale, exhale, bend and straighten your leg. Feeling the stretch there, rooting back to our root connection, right? The base of the pelvis, the sacrum, our heart of our creation there. And bend and straighten, dropping into that right hip. And we'll take a little tour here with our foot, taking the right heel over towards the left hip. Keeping those toes in the middle in line with your knee, bend and straighten here. sensations. Taking your neutral foot back, you can turn the toes out towards the right shoulder and bend and straighten there. Find your breath again. This is one of those poses that afterwards your body thanks you a whole lot, and but during there's some resistance. Come on back to neutral. Straighten out the leg one more time. And then bend it. Take it long on the mat. Right leg long, left leg long. Notice that release we've created on the right. You want to match it on the left. Let's do that. Bend the knees. Inhale, the right knee towards the chest and the strap around the ball of the left foot. Find your angle. Find the place where you are with this hamstring stretch. And bend and straighten. And that place can vary day to day. Notice that bending and straightening action, the quads supporting, the thigh muscles supporting that bending and straightening. We're taking weight off the knees too, which is fabulous. Take that tour with the left heel towards the right hip. Notice the sensations, breathe into it, drop into your left hip and bend and straighten. Be careful with that knee toe alignment. Really be aware of that, okay? And throughout today's practice, just try to you can have come back to neutral foot and then allow the toes to go out towards the left heel and bend and straighten here. Well, I was just saying that if you want to have any focus, today's practice is just kind of go easy. So like if you are used to going to a certain edge with a stretch, maybe back it off a little bit. Practice that without the striving, right? So just seeing what almost there is and how that feels. Hope that makes sense. But anyway, come on back to a neutral foot. Feel the hamstrings, continue to release, and then bend your left knee, bring the left foot down, whew. And then we'll come up to a side sit. So roll over onto your left side, and we'll fold that left leg in front of us, and then the right leg onto the side, but you don't have to have that bent. If it's bad for your knee to do that, you can come out to a straight leg. Take our awareness to the side sit. And we're going to take our fists beneath us and just lift up, use your arm strength there, lift up and then release down. So when you release down, one side will probably be lower than the other. Use your blanket to adjust that so that they're even. We have a little level, one of those little levels for carpenters, right at those sits bones. Inhale, shrug the shoulders up to the ears. Exhale, let's take them away from the ears and then the fingertips to the floor. Sweep the right arm up next to the right ear and let's take a long side bend to our left side. And then take if you feel the hip lifting on the right side, take your hand to the top of the thigh and use that anchor there. So our anchor here, that root of the pelvis. Take the palm to the back of the room. Notice that opening across the shoulder, maybe gaze up at the sky. Those eyes of the heart looking up too. And come down, sweep it back up. We'll take a counter. Stretch to the other side, not as far, but you'll still feel a nice stretching. There you go. And then back to the center. Let's twist to the left side, walking the fingertips around us. And then back to the other side. Come on back forward. Inhale, exhale. Feeling your center. Now we're going to switch to the other side. So take the right leg, fold that. Find what you want to do with that left leg. Leave it out straight or fold it to the side. Take the fist beside you, lift up, and then drop down. And notice who's down, who's up here on those sits bones. Here we go. Find that evenness. So what we're doing is stabilizing our SI joint there on the outside of our sacrum. That joint, if it's wonky, everything else gets wonky too. So let's even that out. Take left arm next to left ear, walk the right fingertips out, and find the anchor here. Find that pelvis, the root, the sits bone on the left side. Use your hand if you need to anchor more, and soften to the right. Find the breath responding to this expansion in your ribs. Look up at the sky with your heart, with your eyes in your head. Left hand facing the back of the room, palm. Ease yourself back up, and now we'll take a nice twist to the right. Counter twist to the other side. Counter stretch to the other side. Come on back up, take the fingertips, walk them around you. Little sacred circle there. Twist. So we're rotating those hip sockets, and then come on back, coiling back to the center. Unwind ourselves here as we place the blanket to the side and go on up. Let's take our all fours position here, curling the toes under, lifting the knees off the mat. As we walk forward, keeping the knees bent, we're just going to take ourselves into a wide stance. So those spread toes and those feet are going to find that foundation towards the outside edges of the mat. Yes. And our hands using that extra root of the palms. And we're going to come up into a flat back. So you could take the fingertips here or block whatever you need to come up into that flat back. Great. And then ease yourself down, bending the elbows and just dropping the head so that we can release something there too. Perhaps some mental flurry in the brain. Just relax the muscle of the brain, if you will. Feel the release from the hips here too. The spine just takes the response to gravity, right? Just let go. Inhale into a flat back on through the back body. Take the left hand to the floor or a block and take a twist to the right hand to the chest, and then up towards the sky, really turning with those heart eyes, looking up, the wisdom of the heart, and then back, slide across the heart. Right hand comes down and the left side does the same. And then we come back down one more time, following your breath. And other side. Oh, so nice. So standing strong through the feet, feeling a magnetic connection between the feet. Take your hands to the top of the thighs and then hinge on up to a wide stance. Feel the tailbone drop, feel the center getting engaged here, and investigate the stance. So see if you want to bring it a little narrower, wider, whatever you want to feel that connection between the feet so that it's not a strain. Great. So here we are in our wide stance, hands on the hips. Just take a centering moment here. Remember, we did that fingertips to the chin. Try that here. So take a fingertips to the chin and just press back and then forward with your chin. Counter pressure there. And then take the hands to the back of the skull. Press the hands into the skull, skull into the hand. Just aligning that top to bottom alignment, right? As we point the tailbone towards the floor. Yes. Now release the arms and just feel that awakeness through the whole body. Great. We're going to take our warriors, both proud and peaceful, in our flowing sequence. So take the right foot over to the right toes to the right side of the mat. And look at that heel, draw a line to the arch of the back foot that is out at whatever angle is comfortable for you. So when we drop into these poses today, I want you to take it, just like I said, a step back from your extreme, what you normally do, just to have that everything in moderation attitude. So let's bring the hips slightly looking forward here. Find the center line down the middle of the body, connecting that wisdom, the crown of the head, to the wisdom of the heart, to the wisdom of the root. Inhale, exhale, bend the right knee towards the middle two toes and just drop the hips down. So you can stay high here, just to stay higher up than normal, just so that you can relax and investigate what that feels like. Inhale the arms out to a T. Still connecting our feet together in that magnetic way, bringing into center. Find the arms reaching out, reach your fingertips out away from you towards wherever goal out there in the world, and then draw it back together. The shoulder blades come together, drawing into the center. So we're going to pivot on that center, the gaze coming over the right fingertips. Stay strong to your base there as you gaze over, hopefully looking forward our future and gaining strength from what's behind us. Drop the left fingertips towards that left leg. Take the right arm up towards the sky and then gaze up at the sky as that right rib cage opens. And then come back to proud warrior, looking over your right fingertips again. And then take it back to peaceful warrior. Let's just look up at the sky and manifest more peaceful warriors coming into our world, the very near future. And then back to proud warrior. Excellent. Let's take the arms down, straighten out that right leg. And then we'll switch that same stance to the other side. So the left toes are going to come to the left here, and we're going to draw that line from the heel to the back of the right foot, to the middle of the right foot now. This time we're going to do side angle on the other side. So again, the hips are more or less forward, but no striving. Let's drop into that proud warrior prep, right? So we're going to bend the left knee towards the middle two toes. Take your hand at that knee and just check in, make sure it's staying aligned. And from here, again, try not going down as far as you usually do. Inhale, take hands to the hips so you can really grow out of that root pelvis. Exhale, let's hinge at that left hip. So press into the left hip, feeling the length from there. And then take the left elbow to that left thigh, rooting through your feet, connection between the feet. Take the right hand to the armpit on the right and lift that side body. And then we'll take the right arm next to right ear. Exhale, connect with that right foot, and then draw a beautiful line all the way to the right fingertips. Gaze up at the sky gently with your heart or your eyes, or just look forward. It's fine too. And then sweep up to standing, and let's take our toes forward and we'll do our star pose. So let's take that wide stand still, but we're going to take the weight into the left foot and keeping that right foot off the floor. We're going to lift the right foot off the floor, keep it nice and flexed, and then we're going to open up the arms. Expand on your inhale and draw into the center on the exhale. Holiday season, lots of stars out there. Let's hope for more peace, stars in our midst soon. And then come on back to our wide stance. Let's take our stance inward just to shake out the legs so that we can go to the other side. Take circles with your hips. because that is those poses are a load on the hips. Of course, we're strengthening that. We want to give it a little break in between. Great, shake them out again. Take that wide stance. And left toes this time towards the left side of the mat. Line up with that back arch. Fixing my mic here. There we go. Great. Inhale the arms out to the side. Find the center point before we drop down. Reach out with your fingertips. Inhale. Exhale, draw them in towards the center, just drawing the shoulders together. So we're gluing ourselves to that center, or magnetizing rather. And exhale, drop the left knee. Bend the left knee, drop the pelvis down, point the tailbone down. And again, take it a little easy. And then look over your left fingertips. Honoring all the directions here. Feeling what's behind us, feeling what's ahead of us. Drawing through the center. Drop the right fingertips to the right thigh, palm on the left to the sky, and then look up. Peaceful warrior. Don't forget that foundation. Back to proud. Inhale back to peaceful. Manifesting warriors of peace. And then back forward. One more time. Just to add our wishes out there. And then gaze to the left. Bring your gaze forward. Drop the arms. Straighten the left leg. And we'll switch to the right side. Right toes out to the side. For a side angle. Again, your hips are going to be facing forward for these poses, but you don't want to force anything. So inhale, just take the hands to the hips to mark that place. Exhale, bend the right knee. Your right hand at that hinge point really helps here. So when inhale, we can kind of feel that sense of the rootedness, but the spine beautifully growing up like a beautiful beanstalk up outside of that root. And then we'll hinge over to the right elbow to left thigh. The spine in this diagonal. So tailbone all the way to the crown of the head. Inhale the left thumb to that left armpit, and then left arm next to left ear. Let's gaze up with our eyes, and then the heart eyes. The wisdom, knowing of good things to come, good outcomes. Great. Sweep the left hand down, come on up, and then bring our feet to parallel. Find the stance that's comfortable for you to balance on. Right foot, really use all the surface of that foot as we come to the weight on that right foot. And keep the left foot flexed, reaching out, and then arms wide. Inhale, expand. Exhale, draw it into the center. Spend a few breaths just exploring that, sending out, radiating out, and then bringing it back. Come on down to your feet, both feet. And then we'll take our beautiful goddess pose with the toes out to the side. And when we bend the knees, we're going to keep them in line with those middle two toes. Hands on the hips, inhale, exhale, drop down. Feel the strength from that root and through the legs. Take the hands across the inner thighs just to feel that opening there. And then reach the arms up to the sky. Exhale, breathe out into our cactus arms. Lion's breath. Now we're going to come up. Our hands are going to go into prayer, and we're straightening the legs. And then exhale back. Warrior lion's breath. One more time, inhale. Exhale. Release. And see if you can hold this a few breaths. Take the hands to the thighs. If you can't, that's fine. Just see if you can build some of those strong, big muscles, right? Balancing us. And then come on back up. Nice. Take the feet forward and we'll spill forward from those hips into another forward bend. And we'll take the hands down to the floor, widen the stance if you need to. Now walk the hands back in between towards the feet and release your head again as you keep the elbows bent here in this right ankle. So you're supporting yourself with your hands. They've got that root and the feet. And then the spine gets to just drop it and feel the gravity extending the space between the vertebrae. Shake the head yes and no. And then walk the hands out. Bend the knees, just walk one foot and then the other. We'll come back down where we began in our tabletop. We'll just take a moment in tabletop here, just swaying side to side. I'll show you from this side. One ear towards one shoulder and then the other, swaying. And then coming back to a neutral tabletop. We'll just take a cat position, but we'll take the cat position not as extreme as you usually would. So navel comes towards the spine, rise up. So just, again, wherever you would go to the extreme, take it back a little bit. And then exhale into cow. Let's just not go into as extreme of an arch as we normally would. And then back up again. So find the control of your movements enough to know what that edge is and how you cannot go quite there, but somewhere in between. Back to neutral. Let's take the knees back just for a little knee plank to strengthen. If you want to take a full plank, go ahead. It's up to you. Your body, listen to the body. Take the shoulders away from the ears. And you can stay in this long line here. Navel towards the spine, your glutes are engaged. Excellent. Sweep back to child's pose. Allow the forehead to drop. Take the hands, the palms towards the sky. So we're out really rotating the arms. Receiving hands. What is it you'd like to receive? What would your heart like to receive, your mind? And then palms down. We'll come up and do a sweet surrender pose called the beast. So we're starting in that same side sit that we were doing with the left leg folded in front. And then we're going to take that same circle around us with the fingertips. So re-engage that side sit. If you need the blanket, that's good. Walk around with your sternum towards the left knee. Then take the fingertips, folding at that left side, take the fingertips towards the top of the mat. Pull back at this point with your fingertips towards the hips, and then see if you can reach and fold while lengthening the spine. Exhale, palms come down, maybe fold a little more. If the forearms can come down on your next exhale, it's great. We've got Sphinx arms. The right elbow will be at the left knee. Pulling back, exhaling, releasing and surrendering. That birthday cake breath right about now. Exhale. Blow it out. Take your hands below the forehead and see if you can lower that. If not, it's okay. Stay with Sphinx. Maybe you can straighten your right leg. The heel comes towards the back of the mat. Continue to feel the length of your spine, lengthening of your spine, as well as the release beneath you to our gravitational pull. And then bend your right knee. Inhale yourself up to seated. And then we'll switch to the other side, folding the right foot in front, right leg in front, left leg to the side. Do this blanket trick with those sits bones. Take the fingertips beside you, draw that beautiful sacred circle around yourself. Sternum toward right knee, and then over towards the side, fingertips towards the side of the mat, the long side of the mat. Pull back towards the hips, grow taller. Exhale, fold at that right hip. Palms come down. And our forearms into Sphinx, continuing your breath, lengthening, and the exhale, release. And then forehead can come down if you'd like. On your hands, straighten your left leg, heel towards the back of the mat. As we lengthen the left side, use that breath. Regulate it. And bend your left leg. Come on up. And ease yourself down to the mat. Take your hand to the back of the skull so you support that wonderful skull, brain, etc. Let's take our bridge position. So we have the hands at the back of the heels, fingertips at the back of the heels. And just to remind ourselves of our core, feel the sacrum on the mat, feel the lift of the low back off the mat. As we lengthen here, we're going to inhale, and we're going to tuck the navel towards the floor. So we're going to uncurve that part of the low back, lifting the pubic bone up. And then release so that the navel comes up towards the sky. So we're just pelvic rock here. Awareness of that support system, those muscles, ligaments, tissues at the base of our spine, connecting us to the pelvis, the legs. Continue this pelvic tilting. Feeling that core strength that we have within us. Fortitude for what we've got in our present. And then come back to a neutral spine. Take the knees together, feet wider apart, and we'll do our windshield wipers. Right knee down the left shin, and then back up, and left knee down the right shin and back up. Take the thumbs to the elbow creases and allow the forearms to go side to side in the opposite direction of the legs. And then as we snake ourselves up towards the head, we'll take the gaze side to side. And then our eyes We'll follow the elbows. Full body involvement here. And then bring the knees together. We'll take this to a close. Take the fingertips to the elbows and then lift the arms above the head and just feel that same sense that we were doing when we started our practice. We're sitting up. Just feel that lengthening that's happening as you lift those elbows and the side bodies long. And then release the arms next to the body. Take the palms up towards the sky. And one leg long and then the other, flopping the feet out. So we're again draping ourselves over the mat as we were with that block earlier. Close the eyes, go inward. Appreciating our breath, supporting the centers, those energetic centers. Those centers that can determine how we'd like to go forward. If you have an intention for your day, breathe that in, carry it forward. Bring your focus to the third eye. Spend a moment of stillness here, orbiting around that stillness. That allows us to reset. Wiggle the fingers and the toes. And then bend the elbows and the knees and just roll onto your right side. Appreciating the time you've spent for this sense of healing. Inhale up to a seated position. Meeting with prayer position at the heart. We'll turn this prayer into a lotus. So let's take the fingertips down towards the floor, then the back of the hands together, and then reach out, cupping the hands, our lotus mudra. Bring all of this beautiful energy we've created. Absorb it, inhale, exhale. Let's take the back of the hands together, bringing it back towards the body, folding the hands back to prayer position. Sending out beautiful wishes to everyone as we share around the world. Thank you so much for joining me in this practice today. Namaste.